This week's tip is love it or list it Calgary. Now, I know that sounds cheesy and Tim's probably rolling his eyes, but we really have to tell you this is actually happening in Calgary right now. And the top, well, we're going to get into the market report shortly, but the top end of the market is taking off. And what's really happening, we took some people out on the weekend to show them a property in Christie Park. The property was listed for 1.4 million. These people already live in Christie Park but up on the hill, and they wanted to move down to the park, on the park. And the reason why they were looking at this house is because they got quotes to do renovations within their own home, and the quotes are upwards of $200,000. So these people decided it would be better to go and put an offer in on this house. Unfortunately, that house sold $165,000 over list price with no conditions, so they didn't get it. But Tim, why are the reasons the upper end of the market, or what would you say, six, seven, $800,000 plus is moving right now? And what is the tip around that going forward with renovations?
Yeah, it's always a decision. Do you upgrade your house, renovate it, or do you just buy a new one that's already renovated? It's got everything you need. So one of the things that the renovation part involves is it's very, very costly.
Mhm.
Some of those, you can do a quick renovation, just paint and baseboards by yourself. But if you want to update your house to be in the house that you love, which is as that's title for this,
Mhm.
you need to do, costly. The rentals can be quite costly.
Yeah.
You can, like as Ed said, upwards of 150, $200,000 to renovate your house to the standards that you want.
Mhm.
So in order to avoid that, that's why some people go out and buy a new one.
And not only that, I'll put the next 2 points together, Tim. Contractors can be messy, and you've got them in your house and you don't want them in your house. I can tell you, I've been through it multiple times. And the other thing is, it takes time. They say it's going to take 2 months. It never takes 2 months. It takes three, four. I've even been over to 6 months when it's supposed to take 2 months. And then the worst thing that happens with contractors, it's messy. I know even the last job we did, we put in a legal suite in Ogden. And you know what? When we broke the ground open to look at the pipes to kind of what were we doing? We're taking the drain out and putting it
Yeah,
somewhere
we're
else.
moving the drain for the washer and dryer to a new point in the basement, so we had to crack the concrete.
And once we cracked the concrete, we realized that the pipes underground were all rusted and old and had to be replaced. So things do pop up. And I could tell you when you're breaking that concrete and you're digging out that gravel and then digging out that pipe, it is the worst mess I've ever seen. Like it's like I can't even look at it when we go into renovation properties, and the renovators are just no problem at all. This is just part of the day-to-day job. So, Tim, why would someone say, you know what, I'm not going through that? Why would they go and look at other
Yeah,
properties?
so one of the reasons to go look at other properties is your cost savings. To go out and buy a new property, if it's over 500,000, you're putting generally 10% down. And on a, seven, $800,000 house, that's 70 or $80,000, as opposed to renovating your older house, where, like we said, 150 to $200,000. You're generally putting that renovation cost on a line of credit, or you're pulling it from savings.
Mhm.
And if you want to keep your line of credits full and keep more savings in the bank for whatever else you want to do, buying a new property with 5 or 10% down, you're saving a lot of your cash.
Yeah, and the best thing about the market right now, as we know, it's pretty flat. Some segments, like the upper end, is really moving, but buyers are getting a choice. So they can upgrade either into a cul-de-sac or more square footage or onto a park, like the couple did that wanted to on the weekend. So they're getting more choice, and then they're getting deals on the way in 9 times out of 10. Properties are not going into multiple offers. They're selling below list price. So our not just investors, our homeowners, we're seeing they're making this decision themselves, especially the ones that had COVID mortgages that were so low and now they've come up so high. They're like, why are we living in this house
Yeah.
when we don't have everything we want and we could pay the same price to go live somewhere else? So I guess, Tim, this is Love It or List It Calgary. We've never done a tip of the week like this before, but that we really want to get it out there that if you're not happy with where you're living, it could be another option not to renovate. It could be an option to go list and go buy something else. That is our crew tip of the week. If it's your first crew tip of the week, they're not all love it or listed Calgary tips. There's many tips on there and they're straightforward. They give you the good and bad of investing in real estate and can save you tons of money. Subscribe to our Crew TV. It's free.